like it live, and apparently we were not even on the screen. So now we're on the screen. Hi, everybody. So we are we are just a couple minutes late, but that's okay because this is only show number 2. So this episode we are going to talk about. We talked about it a little bit yesterday, but we're going to talk about it a little bit more today, and that is vision or dreams versus reality, and what you kind of had in your head that was going to happen, and what things were not that way, or which things were better, because some things were better and some things might not be better. So let's talk about what's the reality versus what the vision or hopes or dreams were. Okay, so go ahead, girls. Take it away.
I really didn't have any like expectations because I knew it was going to be very different. So I didn't put anything like, because I knew if I did, I would most likely be disappointed.
Yeah, more chance for disappointment if you set expectations
and
too high.
And if I get disappointment, that's I'm just done with it then. Like I don't even want to try.
I get it. Yeah. And I think for us, from my side, because Lily, I know you kind of talked yesterday a little bit that you were kind of just in a I'm going to go with whatever happens type attitude. That's kind of what you were talking about yesterday. I think in some regards, you've got to have kind of an attitude of that direction, just because it's an unknown. It's a total unknown, and there's nobody out there really broadcasting a lot that says, "Hey, this is how things were for me." There's a few out there that you guys have both talked about a little bit, where you've seen a couple YouTubes and stuff like that of other people that were exchange students.
Well, I see it all over my TikTok. I actually wouldn't say that I haven't seen it because it's all over my TikTok.
Yours? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
that's
I've
the
seen a
site
lot.
where you need to go on if you want to see.
Well, if you once you start looking for exchange student stories, you start finding a lot of them, and there are a lot.
There is,
and I think I see more of the people who have that mentality that you have right there, and saying that I am not going to put an expectation. No. You have a better experience. The ones who seem to have put some high expectations for something and then they get a huge disappointment, they're the ones that seem to have a bigger trouble or a harder time with it.
Yeah.
Even though you haven't had that, what about some friends, and you don't have to talk like give their names or anything, but or where they're at, but I know there's been a few that have had some negative experiences where even though you didn't put an expectation, your vision is also not to be miserable.
Yeah.
Your hope and dream is not to be unhappy, not to be crying, not to be unsafe, not to be disappointed, not to be disliked, not to be shunned, embarrassed, all those things. Even if you don't have a high expectation for specifics, you do have an expectation to not to have those needs met.
Yeah.
And I know that you have at least one person that you've met over at camp or something that didn't have the best experience
at first. No.
And now it's better. And then there's people that we've watched YouTube videos of that have had some pretty negative experiences. So I think that also aligns with the vision and reality part of it. How did that affect you, though? Hearing somebody else's negative stories.
Well, it made me sad because, like, this is for a year, and if she can't hold it, how am I supposed to hold it too? Even though I'm living better than her, it's still like I get sad because of her, like because the situation she's living in, or she was living in, it's not anymore, because she took she went to EF and they helped her.
Right.
get past the family she was living with.
And did that make you think about being a little more I think the word I'm looking for is like looking for any red flags? Did that kind of put that in your mind? Like,
Yeah.
maybe I should look at
Yeah.
certain things and be
The things he was saying, I was looking through them too.
Oh, okay. To make
Because
sure that we're not
that
doing-
was because that was put in my head after she said them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like well, what if they're gonna be like that? Or what if they do something like that? Or
Yeah.
how are they
Because it was the first 2 days it began.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know you that, like, I've been there 2 days. So I was looking for the red flags too to see if, should I also contact EF? Is my living situation good? Or is it not going to turn out good this?
Right. Because people could put on a good show.
They can.
You know, just like yesterday, we had talked a little bit about the fact that we wrote letters and put your likes and dislikes and stuff like that.
Mhm.
You know, I know Lily, you stalked us. Your dad stalked us, which is good. We were actually happy to hear both your families stalked us to find information about us. But for the most part, most people put their best self on the internet. They don't put the uglies. They're not going to be like, hey, man, I just got a DUI. I'm so proud of myself. I love drinking and driving. It's amazing to me. So, you know, you're not going to have somebody that's going to post that stuff.
Mm-mm.
I mean, if a negative thing is posted, it's because it was posted by the courts and somebody else got the information. You're not going to put anything negative. So it is harder to find that. And when you get to somebody's house, you can put up a good show for a little while, but then after a while, they're going to show their true colors.
They are, yeah.
Now, like in her situation, they showed their true colors pretty quickly.
They did.
And you know, and they had 2 as well, right?
Yeah.
And they weren't treating both the same way.
No, not really.
Yeah, so it made a difference in how she was seeing it. It wasn't like, oh, they're this way to everybody.
Yeah.
It was just specifically towards her. What about for you, Lily?
She's daydreaming.
I fall asleep now.
No.
I'm not talking too much.
Did you have you been in contact with many friends or made, because again, you only had the 2-day orientation, so you didn't have a lot of time to meet a lot of people. You know, Emma had a little bit more time to meet more people than what you did. But have you been in contact with any of them? Have any of them come back and said, you know, something's just not right that with their situation?
Well, one of the things was like a friend of mine who went to the family. They had an exchange student, and would be just a welcome family for him. And then they kept like talking about him, and he felt pretty bad because they like, oh, he was so great, and we miss him so much, and he was such a great football player and all that stuff. So he didn't feel welcome. Like,
Oh, he was talking about past exchange students, the family?
Yeah, he just came back this year. So, well, like most of my friends here, they're pretty happy. They're all like have good families and stuff. So, they're all fine.
Now, when it comes to your school, what was the difference between what you might have had in your head versus what you actually have happening?
Well, I was expecting more school spirit, to be honest.
Yeah.
I was people were telling me I'm going to Alabama. People are crazy about football here. Like, that's the next state after Texas. So it's like, oh my gosh, everybody's gonna be all over football. And then I come here, and you guys are like, oh, we don't watch football, like, really rarely. And my school, they're not into school spirit, so I don't know.
There is some, but it's not a lot. But I think it's the school. I don't think it's everybody. I just think it's
I think
kind
it's
of our school.
I think it's more the school.
Yeah.
And
But I was expecting the same thing.
yeah.
And you see, like, when my friends put on Insta or whatever,
Yeah.
it's football night and it's crazy and there's so many students and we're like, oh, okay, that's not what I'm experiencing. But it's fun. I'm not sad about it. I really like it still. It's just not what I expected or
It's-
was
It,
told.
it seems like the ones that do have school spirit have big school spirit. Like but it's like a handful
Yeah.
rather than a whole bunch.
Mhm.
It's like 20, and there should be like 100 students there, and there's like 20. And I mean, like, yeah, Friday's game, there was guys that were painted, their bodies were painted with the
It was
initials.
Yeah,
red.
there's
It was red,
three
white, and blue.
during- Yeah,
Yeah.
3 boys.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of other people there that were having school spirit, but a lot was 20.
Mm,
The first game there was a little bit more, I think,
I think so. Yeah.
and the second game there was a little bit more. It seems like as each game goes, it's going down, and I get it when we're at an away game.
Oh, that was really
But-
not that much.
But the home
Right.
games should have everybody.
Right,
Like,
when-
you should have
Yeah.
as many people as you can possibly have at a home game,
Mm,
because it's not like you have to drive an hour to get there. You are 5-10 minutes away, maybe.
Right. Exactly. That's a big thing. I mean, I know back when I was in high school, and yeah, that was a long time ago. I get it. But the home games were always packed. There was always lots and lots of people, and you weren't sitting down like you guys had talked about. You go to a European soccer game, and people are not sitting down. They're all on their feet the entire time. That's the way it was for the football games when I was growing up. And there was the fence along the front there. Everybody is always standing, and everybody is around the entire field, and there wasn't the visiting teams bleachers. Generally half of them were full with the home teams students and stuff like that, because there wasn't enough room on the home team side, so they were all around the entire field, and that's just not that big at this particular school for that. And I see exactly what you guys are talking about as far as
yeah, and the guest or whatever, they're full over there.
yeah, they were
They're full. Like the student section too, way more people.
right.
And that's a away game for them, not even a whole game.
Exactly, and that was the thing, and I can like Tori mentioned, I can understand where away games you may not have as many people go to, but the home games, they should be there. The people should be there for the home games.
Do you feel like it has something to do with the skill level of the players or the team? Like they're not.
I just don't think people are that interested in it.
Yeah,
Okay. And now,
I don't think
what
it's the
what do they
skill.
seem to be more interested in at school than because I mean, Alabama's supposed to be pretty big about sports and football especially.
I don't know. I have no idea why there isn't that many.
well, like you said, the band seems to have more of a following than the team does.
Yeah.
Now, on to another subject. What are some things that you're looking forward to or hoping to be able to do while you're here? One, in Alabama or in the South, and two, just being in the United States. What are some things you're hoping to do or looking forward to doing?
Oh my gosh, I really want to go to Nashville and buy cowboy boots.
Me too.
We will definitely make a trip.
Yeah.
Are you going to do just boots, or are you going to do boots and a cowboy
You
hat?
Oh my god, I'm gonna have a cowboy
hat.
head too.
You're,
What the
you're,
hell?
you're the hat. You're the hat person.
You're that.
I-
person.
Emma,
Okay,
you're the
I'm
hat person.
almost wearing a
I
hat.
So-
do got to show you those hats. I haven't showed you yet.
No, I need
got,
hats and boots.
I got to find that TikTok of that chick because I
Oh
want to go.
yeah.
I want to go to her shop
Well-
because it's pretty amazing.
I'm really not. I'm really not a person who has a lot on my hat. It's very.
Right, but it's fun.
almost,
It's fun to see them.
yeah,
Not,
it's fun
not,
to see them.
Not that you're gonna want to get one exactly like that, but it's fun to see them and see the craziness
Mhm.
that
Well,
they'll put into it and stuff
the,
like that.
the,
So
the cool part about her hats in particular is she makes them for you the way
Yeah.
you want it. She doesn't necessarily make, you can pick one off the shelf that she already has made,
Mhm.
or you can just tell her you want a certain kind of theme or something, and you can say, I want it less. I don't want it over the
Yeah.
top. I want
I'm
it
a
less.
very simple person when it comes to
Yeah,
my
you
like
tell her I want
style.
it simple.
Yeah.
This is what my style is, and I want it simple, elegant, or blingy. I want glitter. That would be Lily.
Yeah.
You just tell her how you want it, and I'm pretty sure she makes it pretty close to
Yeah.
what the person wants. And I've seen some that are hanging on the wall that are way less than the one that I was describing. But like, I wouldn't want the one that I was describing either, for the reason that it's just not my style, but it was really cool. So
Yeah.
that's something I do want to go see. Okay, so Nashville.
okay,
cowboy
so
hats and the
what else?
boots.
What else in Nashville? I mean, Nashville's nowadays. Nashville isn't just this country music place. I mean, Nashville's got pretty much all music. I mean, you go up there and you go down the main drag up there, and they've got everything going on. It's just
They're dying to go to Kids Rock's bar.
What?
Kid Rock.
That's why I said that. So they would go, who?
People kept telling. Also in school, they're like, "Do you know this guy?" I'm like,
Who?
"No, I don't." Do you want to go to this concert? I don't even know the person. Like,
But
they said they
There are
sound
a lot of
interesting.
concerts in Nashville. Like
yeah.
my friends are telling me every week someone is going to a concert, and I'm like,
Well, and
Oh.
and they
Yeah,
definitely
Nashville's
are
huge.
much more country in
Yeah.
Nashville. But there are some cool experiences, even though you guys are not into country. There are
Oh, I
some
never said
cool
that it wasn't into country.
Well, no. I've noticed Emma over here. She does not a lot, but she does.
it's more folk. The stuff that she likes is a more folky.
I don't know.
In this country, it's considered more folk music. I love
Some
music
of the
because
country.
it's the same music I listen to.
Some of the
That's why
country that
I
I've been
know.
hearing when she's got music going is a little bit more modern country. Not a lot, but some.
Okay.
I think some songs I hear now is because people kept showing me music in school, so now I just start listening to some of it. I think that's also
Because
why.
you're gonna experience something different here than what you're
Yeah.
used to listening to. But when she was playing her playlist in the car, I was like, oh, I have that song, I have that song, I have that. I had every single thing that you played on my playlist.
I hear a lot of Eminem.
I have a lot of Eminem. As much as people might not like Eminem, I love Eminem. I always have.
Feels like home.
Part Eminem. But I also I love Yellow Wolf. I like rap. I like different types of rap. I don't like the bitches be slinging stuff.
So the ones I hear in Danish, you wouldn't like
Yeah.
that?
I
That's
like
great.
them in Danish, though. They
Because
sound
you don't know
really
what
good because I don't know what it is.
I was trying to translate it.
Yeah.
So I was like,
She did. She translated a song in Danish, and oh my god! Let's see. She would make Eminem.
Hey! You got to get the camera over there.
She would make
Someone's just a little red. I
She
mean,
would
someone's just a little red
Eminem,
from the.
Lady Gaga.
Okay, back off.
Who are all the Madonna? She would make Madonna blush. In these songs.
Yeah.
I mean, these
yeah.
when she was now granted the words translated in English didn't really rhyme. So it
No.
sounded really dumb. But when you heard it in Danish, the rhythm, the way it
flows.
the way it flowed
It's
was really good.
my favorite. If you really want it to be okay, wow. It's suspect.
Should speak.
Suspect.
Okay,
Yes.
and that
That's it.
means
That's just what they call each other.
The-
It's
just
like
the ba-
it's
the band,
three
suspect.
guys
oh, that's their band.
singing. Yeah,
That's their band.
and
name.
they call it suspect.
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 So,
And then we have Ude af Kontrol too. That's kind of the same thing.
And they're pretty brazen, pretty wild.
Yeah.
I-
Well, when I was at the festival this summer, they went to it. Like they have a poster on the scene. It's them all three standing full on naked, just having their hand on that and just standing there, be like,
just casual, just
casual
just
doing
another
it.
just another day
Yeah.
in the park.
Yeah. And we do tequila shots on the scene too.
Oh, okay.
They bring it and do it. I think the last one was on the ass of some guy.
So that brings me to another question, which kind of is similar to the other question, but it's like there's a lot of things that you can do here that you can't do at
Yeah.
home. But there's a couple things that you can't do here that you're used to being able to do at home, and those are
Do you want to start?
Shrinking.
Drinking, okay.
shrinking.
Drinking.
Is that because you're
We're
small and you
shrinking.
just keep shrinking?
No, I'm not growing anymore. But that's because I reached perfection. That was cringe. Okay.
Because I've reached perfection. That's pretty funny.
That was cringe. No, that was what I was laughing about because he was like, I thought, oh, that was kind of cringe.
No,
It was.
But like what I'm here is that the whole people are way more when I talk about like I haven't talked about alcohol, but they were like, what's like big differences in school? And I'm like, well, we can drive, but we can drink or stuff like that. And they're like, you drink?
Well, the people I talk to, they
drink.
people drink. People do
Drink.
drink, but it's just not.
Oh yeah, they drink.
Yeah, but it's just not. They don't talk about it the same way we do. Like it's very open, and we talk about it
Yeah.
with our parents. This is more like the parents don't know. This
Yep.
is a secret. People can't go knowing.
Right. They keep things hidden.
It's
and
illegal.
It's illegal. They keep things hidden.
Yeah.
So that, but then I don't know. I see that more as an issue with having good communication with your
Mm.
parents, having open dialogue with your parents. That if they know, like I did raise my boys to be allowed to drink at home, and I didn't have as many problems when it came to high school and them sneaking or doing any of that because it wasn't like a big deal. It wasn't
Mm-mm.
made to be a big deal. And that is something that is similar. Maybe it's because I grew up a lot in Europe as well, but that's also something that you guys do. You guys are allowed to drink and it's not a big deal. You can drink with your parents, you drink with your friends. It's not illegal. You can go out and go drinking to an extent.
We can't really go to bars. People do go to bars, but that's illegal to do. But people do it. But I would say
What is the drinking age to go to a bar over in Denmark?
18.
18.
18. But people do go in at 16 and 15. My friends went in. I haven't gone to a bar in Denmark.
No.
I'm not that type who did that.
You just
And
do
some
it
of
at
my
home.
and some of the people I work with, they're like 18 and 20. Like texted me if I wanted to go with them to a bar and clubs, and I was like, no. And I said it to my mom, and she was like, why didn't you go with them? I'm like, no, Mom, I'm not gonna do that. But I would say I think it would have been different if my mom wouldn't let me do that from kind of a not young age, but like still, if she wasn't that open with it, there would have been a bigger chance me going and then just not telling her.
Right.
And that
it's-
would have been a dangerous situation.
Right.
I think the big thing is, and that's what really seems to happen. There's that. Oh, we're not allowed to do it. I wonder why. What's so bad about it that we can't do it?
Now I wanna do
I'm
it.
gonna try it because I
yeah.
can. And that's exactly what they do. So they
That
go out there
rebellious thing.
and they push the limits because it's something that they're not allowed to do. So that's when they tend to push the limits more.
Yeah.
Where it seems like the way you're talking, in Europe, if you're open with your parents and you talk to them and you're able to, within reason, I mean, you eliminate that unknown of, oh my goodness, it's so forbidden, you can't do it, and they just want to try it. Well, if you turn around and you change it, and like with what you're talking about, where you have that opportunity, you don't push those limits, I don't think, as much.
I don't.
Now, here that you're in the US on an exchange program, and we haven't talked about who the exchange program is through yet. That'll be something that will come up on another chat at some point in time. I don't know what's with my camera. My camera doesn't want to focus.
I think I don't.
But I don't know what's with my camera. It keeps going out of focus.
It
with the
doesn't like the
focusing.
lights flashing behind you.
Well, it was doing this yesterday too, so it's got its own attitude. So I'm just going to change it to a different camera for right now. But anyway, they require that you are not allowed to drink, regardless of whether you're allowed to at home, regardless of whether your parents let you, regardless of whether your host family would be okay with it. Like, I wouldn't care, but we could go to jail if we let you. It's a crime. And they forbid it because it's against the law here. Now, I know that some states allow you to drink with your family, your parents at home in the US, as long as you're not providing to a underage minor, like your friend's kids, your kids' friends, which I guess is probably why it's forbidden here, because technically they're not our kids, so we can't make that decision. But even if the parents were okay with it, we're not allowed to do it. And that is something that, I'm sure every now and then you think, that's dumb. Or is it more than, oh, that's dumb?
I think it's dumb.
You think it's dumb?
I think it's really dumb. I just think it's dumb. I don't like the rule because it's just very different. And yeah, but it's fine. I'm not gonna drink, so
Yeah.
I am gonna follow the rule.
Yeah, you're like, I'm going to
just
follow
not
the
happy
rule.
with
I just
it.
don't like it. I'm going to follow it because I don't want to go home. But
No, I
I
don't.
don't like it, and I'm going to say I don't like it, and I still don't like it, and I still don't like it. And no, I still don't like it.
I hate it.
Lily, what about you?
What?
What do you, I mean?
Well, like, it's not like I'm missing it. Well, like, there are a few situations, like when I would go out with my parents, like sometimes I would drink like a more alcohol drink that here I wouldn't even get it in a restaurant. Like, they wouldn't have it. Like, but in Germany, when you look on a card, there's mostly a wine card or stuff like that. And sometimes I would do it, and then like when I think about it, I would be like, oh, just stop. You wouldn't like.
I just
You can
order
do-
a Sprite instead.
Yeah, big Sprite fan here.
I'm excited to see like how the dances is gonna be without alcohol. Like, how are you gonna do that? How it's gonna be fun? How are you gonna dance but being full on it? Oh my god.
Well, let's just see how many of these kids don't sneak alcohol.
Oh yeah, I think they do.
Yeah.
That is
I
for
know.
sure.
I know that when I was a kid, there was such a thing as what is with this stupid camera?
I don't
It's
know.
driving me
I
nuts.
don't know
not
what
happy.
it's trying to.
It
It's
doesn't
just-
like me. But anyway, seriously. Here, play with this remote and see if it'll change what it's doing. So anyway, when I was a kid, and just spike the punch. You brought a flask, you brought alcohol in something, and you mixed it with whatever you were drinking, and you just were more careful to not get caught by not
Yeah.
like over drinking and being I'm not condoning doing that now that I'm older and I've seen what kids go through, but I know that Emma and I have had the talk, haven't we?
What talk?
The talk that if you're out with friends,
Oh, I was like, what talk?
not that talk. Yeah. We've had that talk
Stop.
when we're watching a TV show or a movie, and she goes, "Ew." No, you are not gonna do that. Do not kiss him. That's gross.
Well,
Step away.
I just think it's gross when adults would hear me. I'm like, I can't watch it then.
Well, especially, I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I watch TV shows or a movie, and you know they're actors, especially if you happen to know that they're married.
I
And
just
you
think
know,
sometimes they
it's
go
just
full
weird.
on in,
It's
and I'm
just
like,
weird
stop
to me.
eating each other. That's not how you're supposed to do it. Please
Yeah, just stop.
Stop.
Just,
go to school.
just stop. You don't need to
Children.
be doing that. Yeah, like that one show I was watching with you guys. Oh my God, you were like,
It
would
was-
you just stop already?
They were eating each other. It was not.
What?
It was not.
What show?
Yeah, they were eating each other's
what's it
face.
called?
Pretty.
The summer thing.
Yeah,
Summer I Turned Pretty.
Yeah.
yeah.
The
They
car
were-
scene. and then he
The car
kissed-
scene.
Oh my God.
Disgusting.
They were eating each other's mouths, like swallowing their face, you know. And, it's
And
like,
how he held her wasn't just. That was not right either. I did not like that scene
yeah.
at all.
Usually the acting is so poor when they do that.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah.
But it's in front of a camera and like 20 people. I would feel uncomfortable too.
Yeah, and
yeah.
they were like, I think 20 or something. So
Are they 20?
they're
Yeah,
like,
yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
they're like 20, 21. Like it's
So,
not like
I
you're
would never kiss in
35
front. I would
doing it
never
for
kiss in
the
front of my
600th time
parents.
probably.
So outside of that conversation, we had the talk about going out with friends
Mm.
and, you know, if you're uncomfortable or you find yourself in a situation where you're uncomfortable. So I guess this is the talk with Lily now. You know,
Hey, go
if
ahead.
you find yourself at a place and you're uncomfortable or somebody is drinking or you are like, okay, this could put my whole year in jeopardy. As I said with Emma, no questions asked, just call and I will come get you guys. If you're at something separate, it doesn't matter. I'll come get you. It does, you know.
I tell you to call me, but I'll probably be asleep. So
I'm not gonna call you.
Yeah, Steve has to
Exactly
actually
the
wake
same.
up
I'm
and
not
answer
gonna
the
call
phone.
my father at a party.
I would.
Like he's not gonna
I
pick
would.
up. He's
right,
not gonna come
that's
get me.
that's not the person for you.
He will
For
call a
me,
cab.
No, I would call my dad over my mom. Well, I would call my mom first because there's a 100% higher chance that my mom will pick up the phone over my dad.
But you'll say,
But
"Hey,
my
hi,
dad-
mom. Put dad on the phone."
Yeah, I would say something like that. My mom would pick me up too. She would be like a car race driver. If I would say like, "Come pick me up now," she would be there in 2 minutes. But like, if it's just something like I'm not have to get away right now, but like I would be like picked up now. I'm like, get dad because my dad he's a morning person and he's pretty chill, so he will just pick me up like and bring me home. So
My father would never pick me up at a party. Never. He
yeah.
keeps saying, "Why don't you just call a cab?" He doesn't want my mom to pick me up anymore either. She doesn't really do that.
No, my parents, they drive me. They say we rather drive you somewhere than take a cab or bus or walk with like friends or something.
Dude, never walk.
Well, I'm German. I walk. Like, no.
I don't know. I remember there being a story that you were telling about when you were leaving and you were walking and you were drunk and you had to get somebody
That's
to get
why-
you out of the fence because you,
Yeah.
'cause you got stuck in a fence.
Well, that was not because I was walking home. That was because I was walking over to buy some more. And it was the police who were getting me out. But that's so different. Like if I was caught in a fence here in the U.S. and the police came,
And
they
drunk.
would take me with them.
Yeah.
Like they
yeah.
would not take me off. The police took me off the fence, got my clothes like
Unhooked.
yeah, and they're like, "Have a good night." I'm like, "Thank you." I was 14.
Oh,
And you're
wow.
like, bye. And here
See you later.
Here you
alligator.
be calling from detention, going, I'm in
Oh.
jail. What were you doing? I was drunk and stuck in a fence.
No. My parents, they would pick me up over any situation, or like my friends' parents, they're all the same. They say we rather pick you up somewhere than have you walk. Where because last year we went to a Sylvester party and we got driven there because we were late. Like we started 4 hours before we had to get there, but we are late because me and my best friend, we're just late all the time.
It's bullshit to come on the time. Like I don't come.
No, we were invited for I think 7 because we wanted to start chill, just eating dinner, and then we came at 9:30 something. So we were pretty late, but our parents and were like they didn't want to drink so they could pick us up. Like it was in the same spot where we live, but we
Mm-mm.
live at the beginning and they live at the end. So it was through the whole place. But they were like, no, we're not gonna drink. As one of them is not gonna drink anything. We're gonna pick you up. If it's 2 a.m. or if it's 4 a.m., we're gonna come and pick you up.
Yeah, that's how I
I'm-
am. Like,
I'm gonna
I'll
ask-
come no
I'm-
matter
yeah.
what time it is.
I'm gonna ask just because I want to know when this party starts.
When
Well,
do parties start here
it's-
or in
No,
Germany?
in Germany.
it's like depends on the friends. My best friends, like her friends, a party which started at 7. Like my friend, she just had
That's early.
I was about to say the same thing.
they're
Whoa.
pretty like, early people and not into the party thing, but one of my close friends, her party started at like 10, 11, and one of my other best friends, Hannah, she's not the party person. She was like, I'm just gonna come at 7 and leave at 9. And she was like, nah, man, we're coming at 1 a.m. What are you talking about? Like,
Yeah, like at 7, 8, 9, that's pregame here. That's when you're at home
Yeah.
and you're
Yeah,
pre-gaming
you're drinking and
getting
you're
ready
getting
to go.
ready.
Yeah.
Pre-flight.
Yeah.
You
Pre-flight,
don't
that's
start that
too
early.
late.
You gotta
The
pre-flight.
party is gonna end before it's getting dark. Dark.
Yeah, if you start
know
at
what I mean.
7,
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Well, we have different like friend circles. Like one of my closest, her friends, they're more like 7 p.m. and my friends are more like 11 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, question for you guys.
Yes.
I remember when you first were getting into the school itself.
Uh-huh.
Lily, what was the most asked question to you from the students that were just meeting you for the first time?
And maybe don't name any students. Just say questions.
Yeah.
Well, the most asked question was like, do you have a phone? Like, seriously.
Like cell phones.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I ever saw a phone, if I know what it is, they were like, do you have a phone? Yeah. Do you know what it is? I can show you mine. And I was like, no, I'm good.
Like I know what a cell phone
Yeah.
is.
I think that I just
Do you
think-
have internet in Denmark?
Do you have
Do you have?
Snapchat? Do you have a phone? Do you have Insta?
Have
Do you have
Well, I got some questions, but they were like 6th graders, 7th graders, like if I have met Hitler and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, he settled in North Alabama. Oh my gosh, I think I terrified these kids. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, I think you traumatized them. Sorry.
Oopsie.
Yeah, like do you have electricity?
Yeah.
So a lot of those type of questions, it was kind of
Oh, my favorite question was, do you speak German in Germany?
German and
No, I
German.
speak
I speak
man.
Danish.
I speak Danish. Well, and yours, the kind of funniest question that you got, wasn't it? Like, where is Denmark?
In Texas.
Yeah, it's in Texas.
Yeah.
It's really in
And
Texas.
you know, the funny thing is, after we got that question and we were all giggling about it,
Mm.
which, I mean, I get it because, like, look, Look at the map. You can't
You
even
bought-
see where
you-
Denmark is.
Cause you bought it where the next is on Denmark.
There's no.
I can at
no
least see the
Okay,
Denmark.
okay, fine.
DEN.
Can you see? Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It says.
It says Denmark underneath
It
Greenland.
says Dem period. So I think it's owned by Denmark. And then you have
It's not.
I don't know.
Don't say owned.
Jen Mayen, whatever. That's part of Norway. But anyway, in Denmark, if you look at Europe, most people
Yeah.
know where like Germany is and France and
England.
the UK.
Sometimes I really wonder. I mean, some of the questions.
Well, I have to say, sometimes it's like when you're really tired, like in school, you can switch France and Germany, and that definitely didn't happen to me. But because I know where my own country is at, of course, but it can happen
Yeah.
sometimes.
But after we got that answer, we looked it up to see where Denmark is, because we were, of course, going to give an answer that was sarcastic back the next time. That it's in Texas. So I looked it up, and there was a Denmark, Texas, that is now a ghost town and like was abandoned in like 1930.
I
So
think
it
the
didn't
reason
last
why
too
they
long.
asked what state or where I was from in the US was because my English wasn't like bad. I knew and I could read and I can
Yeah.
speak.
That
like,
kind of is something that I kind of wonder too. Is it because, like you'd said, when you were in camp, there were some students
who
that
could not speak
who
English
had
at all
Yeah, they were just
or
so
understand it.
you could really tell without a doubt that they definitely were not from the US. They were
Mm.
definitely exchange students from somewhere else. So when you guys came in and you were exchange students, but yet you speak English as well as you do,
Mhm.
it probably gives them the
Yes.
thought that maybe, originally you were from somewhere in Europe, but you've been living in the US for the last 5-10 years because of how good you speak English. And I wonder if that's part of why they were just really.
Right. We had the
Yeah.
girls' welcome party at our
Mhm.
house with friends and brought them all over and introduced them to the girls. And every single one of them privately came to me and said, wow, I can't even tell that they have I can hear your accent now more than I heard it when you got here, because your English was so good that it was so hard to hear an accent from either one of you. Like your accents were like almost non-existent because
I just don't think we speak that much as we do now.
you,
also.
you also didn't speak a lot, but at the same time, we also, I think in our heads, we have an expectation that you're going to be like, like
You're
a
gonna-
deaf
you're gonna be
mute that doesn't
searching-
know how to
Yeah.
speak.
It's more like
And
you're going to be
you
searching
didn't-
for the words a lot more than what you do, and you
Or
guys
like
don't.
I was going
I
to have
do
to
search
explain a
sometimes.
lot
You-
more.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do search for the words, but it's not as much as I think a lot of people would have automatically expected. They would have thought that it would be more difficult. It would take more time to get to the clarity that you have,
yeah.
both of you have, with the English language, and I think that's a lot of it. And part of it is that surprises me because, of course, being here, and I've always been told that English is a very, very difficult language to learn. Is what we'd always been told. That's what we'd always been told.
Yeah.
But talking to Lily,
No.
for her, she says definitely not. German is definitely a very difficult language. Again, because
I think Danish is harder than German.
I'm not sure.
I think Danish is harder.
I
than
think so
German,
too.
because I can speak some
Yeah.
German. I mean, I listen to
but at the same
Lily
time-
and eavesdrop more, and I can understand like the show that she watches in German. I just don't feel I don't have the I'm a lot like you, Emma, where you said when you learned English, some of your friends in school, they were speaking it a lot sooner than you were.
They
because
learned
you
it in
really
fourth grade. I
you
learned it
really
in
wanted
7th.
to-
Yeah.
You
Okay.
really wanted it to be right
didn't
before
speak
you
it.
did it. even though you knew the words and you were understanding, it's
Mhm.
like, I don't want to sound stupid. I think I have that same mentality. Like,
Yeah.
I know Lily would not be like, "Oh, you're stupid," and that's not how it goes.
But at the same
But I'm
time,
very
but at the same time,
self-conscious
the
of
thing
saying
that
it correctly.
I look at is, you know, I don't know. I mean, Emma, if you're basically from the northern part of Denmark,
Yeah.
and there's a definite divide, I guess, more or less, from Copenhagen, where that is much more the touristy, the known piece. Is there a dialect difference
There
in
is.
language?
Yeah, there is.
Okay. And again, you think about how small the country is, and you have that dialect difference between the North and the South. I know Lily has talked it a lot where there's definitely dialect differences. We've had our friend over several times, and he spent 3 years in Germany, him and his wife, while he was with the Air Force. And some of the language, the German that he learned while he was there, he's spoken some of that, and it's just not the same. It doesn't translate straight across with what from the dialect that you speak where you're from.
Yeah.
Right, because German has different dialects in
That's
different parts
true.
of Germany, as well as Austria, because I went to school in Austria. So I obviously speak a little bit different of a dialect. Plus, it was over 30 years ago. So there are certain things, just like here, certain words that are no longer acceptable or appropriate in this country,
Yeah.
you don't use anymore. So, and I was taught, just like I would call it here, if you were speaking proper English, I would call it, you're like speaking like Frasier from the TV show Frasier, because you speak proper, like the book version of the language, whereas normal people speak
Slang.
They
There's some
speak conversational German, conversational Danish, and it's Danish people, not any other country. It's Danish. What have you been told so many times?
That's
Dutch.
you guys said that
I
at the
I-
first
I
kiss.
did. I did
said
that.
it.
You
I
you
did.
thought we
I
spoke
thought
that.
you spoke
That's
Dutch.
that's Netherlands. So it's
Yeah,
okay.
it's Netherlands.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
And that just goes to show. I mean, I definitely want to learn more from both of you about how things are in your countries, because they're definitely, everybody has kind of this thought of what they think it is.
Yeah.
And it's not always, I would not have expected there to be that many different dialects within German. Like you said,
That's
just
really funny. Like we have a lot different words for different breads. Like if I go up in North Germany and I say I want like little breads, they're gonna give me something else, because what we see as that is something completely, it's a different food there. So we can confuse even ourselves.
It's
So-
not that. It's not. That's not the same in Denmark. It's just the saying sounds different. Like
right, the dialect
yeah,
itself, not the word.
there is a saying. I'm gonna say it in Danish, but what I'm saying is him on that boat there. So it's ham på den båd, and there's ham på den der båd der.
Oh, okay.
But I'm saying
But they're
the
saying the
same
same
thing,
thing, yeah.
just kind of different.
there's kind of a like here in the United States, when we go into Walmart, we grab that basket thing. What
Yeah.
would you guys call that?
In Indkøb school,
And what would that translate to?
shopping cart.
Shopping cart?
Hmm?
So here in the South,
Yeah, I heard that.
it's a buggy.
It's a buggy here in the
You
south.
know, so
And you go to the UK and it's a trolley.
Mm.
right. So
a trolley?
a trolley.
A trolley.
They call it a trolley.
A trolley is like, it's like a small suitcase you can roll. That's
Yeah.
a trolley.
Okay, and
Exactly. See,
and
that's just
we
it.
would see a trolley as a bus that you can
Well, a
get
trolley.
on
A trolley
to
is what you
go
have
on tour.
It's the
at
streetcars.
a streetcar.
The streetcars in
Or-
San Francisco are trolleys.
Yeah. So I mean,
Trolleys?
there's a lot of different ways of saying the same thing,
Mm.
and that can make things very confusing. And no
Yeah.
matter where you're from, And then in the South, you have a totally different, way of speaking. You go up to like Minnesota or something like that.
Minnesota.
Yeah, and they're gonna a hot dish. That's one of my favorite ones, the hot dish. And those of us from other parts of the country, you mean casserole? And they're
Right.
like, it's hot dish.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and you're like, I don't even understand. And we
Yeah.
make things here that you guys eat. Never heard of it. Never seen it. Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Don't know what you're talking about, but so the funny questions that you've gotten, the interesting responses from people,
Mhm.
and then now you've gotten a few people that have actually started becoming your friends, like your cheer captain for one. You guys have become pretty good friends, right?
Mhm.
Do you see so much differences now, even though there are still definitely differences? You're from Denmark, you have a different way of looking at things. You also have a different attitude towards things. But are you starting to see like, oh, we're really not that different?
Mm, on some point, yeah, on some point no.
Okay.
Okay.
Like I still see it different,
Yeah.
but I think that's me. It was
Right.
like,
Well, now are you seeing a difference between being Danish or being Emma?
being Danish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Well, that was the Thursday.
the lifestyle. Like,
The jokes too. Like I'm a very I joke a lot with my friends back home, but I can't really say the same things here because people won't understand the things I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah,
Like when I'm sarcastic here, I notice you don't get it.
No.
Quite often, I can't even say the word. Quite often, your facial expression to me is like, that was fucked up.
That was weird, man.
Like, why did she say that?
I'm
That
a very sarcastic person, but not in that way. It's not in the same way, so it's really hard actually.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a lot of German word jokes or dialect stuff. Like, even if I would translate it, it wouldn't be funny anymore if I would tell you it. So
Right, yeah. Like, and what we find funny or sarcastic, okay, I have two really funny stories. Hopefully you guys will get it. This was from when I was a kid and I was in Hungary, actually. And it's not much different, Hungary versus Germany and stuff like that. But as far as counting goes, so I was making a dinner with our chef. I wanted to make the dinner myself and get his help. So I had to go down and buy potatoes. So I went down and the shopping is a little bit different there than it is here where we have these big huge stores. They have little stores. You go to this one to get the potatoes. And I went to the stand to get the potatoes and I told him I wanted 8 potatoes. Or over there, you do this. I want 8 potatoes.
What were you doing?
I did that, 8 potatoes.
And what?
Well, I did it that way. Yeah. So it's like this. I want 8 potatoes.
Yeah.
But that means 8 kilos of potatoes,
yeah, we're buying kilos.
not 8 potatoes. So I ended up with 8 kilos of potatoes that I had to carry up the hill back to my house. So forevermore, in this country, we have a potato dish called tater tots. So I was nicknamed Tory Tots for making all these potatoes. So it was kind of embarrassing, but funny at the same time. You have that on.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, whatever. So that was a funny story. But then some of the experiences that I had over there coming back to the US, I felt like an exchange student. I felt like I was so fish out of water. I didn't understand the jokes. I didn't understand what people were saying.
Yeah.
I felt like
There are some things where they say some words. I'm like, what the hell are you saying? What's that supposed to mean?
and I did feel like everyone talking was talking about me. Like if they're looking at me, they're saying something not necessarily bad, but it's definitely about me being different or having a different way of looking at things. And do I get it? I got a lot of people explaining things to me like I was dumb. And I'm like, I understand. I just think what you said was stupid. That kind of thing. Or do you guys feel like you have some of those similar?
Well, sometimes I wouldn't say, I have that one dress, the pink one, which I really like to wear. And when like people would tell me all the day, "Oh, you look cute," or "You're so cute dressed up. What are you doing after school?" And I'm like, I'm just wearing the dress. In Germany, no one would care. Like, I dress up like I wear it in Germany. Well, like not any as much as I used to, but here people think really differently of it.
Right. They think if you're dressed up at all, you're doing
Yeah.
something. Because
Well,
one of the things you both have said is there are people that some of the kids at school could buy a brush, or more the boys, they could buy a brush or
New pair
wash
of
their
pants.
clothes, pull up your pants, wash your pants,
Not pull off the pants, just wash them.
just wash
Yeah.
them.
yeah,
But I think that's normal here. I'm not gonna say anything. It's just not normal back where I'm from.
no.
Right.
Like,
Also, back home, my style is like homeless. Like when I come to school, I'm not dressed up. Like I don't look put together, or I do look put together. I just look like a homeless person. Here, wearing the same ass clothes, I'm dressed up.
Yeah. You put,
That
you
was
look
something I
like you
actually
put a
wanted
lot more
to
effort
I
into
wanted
it.
to use for like a next topic for the next show is talk a little bit about that, because you guys had made a few comments, and I want to get to those in another show about what you've seen and what it makes you think and stuff like that. So that was something.
pajamas in school. That would be. I was always like, that would be a dream to go with pajamas in school and hear people actually doing it. And I found it crazy. Like, I want to go with jogger pants in school. My mom, she said, no, there are some kids doing, but she was like, you're not going to do it. Do you want people to think we're homeless or have no money? Like, do you want to live on the streets? Because if you
Right.
want to wear it to school, then do that. And
Right.
here, you're like common. If you wear jeans, you get more weird looked at than if you wear jogging
Yeah.
pants
I think so.
Yeah.
or like
All right.
stuff.
All right. Well, we have like 1 minute left.
Yep.
And it's time to say our
To wrap
Say our
this up.
prayers. Yes.
Say our prayers. So,
Well, I think what the appropriate thing is
to teach our viewers how to say goodbye in your language.
Okay, Lily, you start.
Well, how like formal?
well
Or-
like
How
Say
you
it like slang, like,
like
how you would say.
normally say it.
Cheesy.
Cheesy.
Yeah, like
It sounds like cheese.
juice.
cheese.
Choose. Okay. Versus Auf Wiedersehen, because I think that's what everybody knows from German.
That's
Auf
like
Wiedersehen. That's very formal.
that's extremely formal.
I think the formal way to say goodbye is hi hi.
Hi, hi.
Yeah, and the way I say is cease.
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 Sis.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I think
well,
that's the way we should be ending our shows, is by
Cease.
everybody saying goodbye in
Well,
their
Yeah.
comfortable way.
And in America, we would say quite a few different ways, like bye, later, see ya. What else? That's about it.
Yeah,
Bye,
when you
later,
get to
see ya.
when you get to just the casual. Yep. See you later.
Ciao.
Ciao.
I mean, we do say that
Bye
here. In,
bye. That's where I say all the time.
Yeah,
to my
bye-bye.
friends.
yeah. Later.
See you later.
All
Alligator.
right. So with that,
And yes, we do say see you later, alligator.
Alligator.
After a while, crocodile. That's
All
the
right.
whole
That's where
thing.
to put the.
Yeah. All right.
Don't
All
do
right,
that.
well,
With that,
that is it.
Thank you
Our
much.
show. Thank you so much, and
Bye-bye.
we will see you again next
Tschüss.
week on
Tschüssi.
Sunday at 4:00. And our topics next week are going to be really fun. Talk to you then. Bye.
Bye bye.
Tschüss.
Tschüssi.